Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Big Money Stylist Podcast. I'm sorry, I'm just inhaling my lunch, which is trail mix.
Peanuts?
I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I'll tell you why.
God, the room smells like peanut butter now.
Oh my God, Ani, you're so weird with peanut butter. I'll wrap them up.
Look, I'm going to just say this. No one in the world will ever convince me that peanut butter is one of the most nauseating smells. And normally I'm okay with peanuts.
Peanut butter.
Normally I'm okay with peanuts, but those are...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, girl, they strong.
You know, I don't like peanut butter. I think peanut butter is gross unless it's in the form of a Reese's.
No, I don't want a Reese's. I don't want a fucking Butterfinger.
I would never eat just like plain peanut butter. When somebody's like eating just plain peanut butter, I'm like,
I literally, all of the hair just grew back on my legs because I'm so disgusted by this.
You're so sensitive. I think you had a childhood moment with peanut butter.
Do you know what I think it is? Look, I'm going to say it. I'm not white American. I wasn't born here, and Americans fucking love peanut butter. I'm American by birth, but not really. I was born in Puerto Rico.
Name your favorite snack when you were little. Go.
I almost said Taco Bell, but wait, hold on. That's not a snack.
No, I've got a good one.
Cinnamon Twist from Taco Bell. That was actually my jam.
Not something you had to buy, like at home. Like, what did your mom have that, like, you're like, I guess I'll eat this? Like,
Jello pudding cups, but not Jello,
gross.
but like the chocolate and vanilla swirl.
Okay, you know what mine was? Graham crackers and milk. Is that a thing? Like, I would dip graham crackers in milk till they were so soggy that I'd be like, damn it, I lost it in the milk. It's fine, I'll grab a spoon.
Oh my God. Okay, you ready to hear something else about me? Never in my life have I dunked a cookie in milk because I don't like soggy food.
Well, you just, like, I like my soggy food, I guess. I don't know.
Do you know what else I'll do? When I used to eat cereal, I don't eat cereal anymore because I don't drink milk anymore. It's
I don't
so
drink
disgusting.
milk anymore either.
Oh my God, so fucking gross. Yep. I would pour a bowl of milk, but then I would
milky breath. Have you ever noticed if you eat cereal, it gives you the worst breath ever? I'll eat cereal. I eat handfuls of cereal, but not with milk. Milk is so gross. It makes you have like this milky breath.
I've never noticed. I can't breathe at all. No, I've never noticed that. But what I used to do is have a bowl of milk, and then I would slowly add little bits of cereal so I could eat it all up quick, and it would still be crunchy.
Smart.
Of
course you did that. Problem solver at age 5. She's like, Mom, don't give me the whole bowl. I've got this. Okay, so we're going to do a quick podcast because we're actually in between trainings right now. So we have a challenge going on in our academy. It's going amazing, but we literally were like, hey, we got 15 minutes. Otherwise, we are not going to get this podcast done this week. And I hate when we miss a week. I feel like I don't want to lose momentum, which segues exactly into what I want to talk about today, which is don't take your foot off the gas.
And you know what? I feel like that goes for literally anything and everything. It goes for education. It goes for marketing.
It does.
I'm going to say this.
It goes for your diet.
My surfing. I'm going to say it goes for everything.
Yep.
I feel like I can always tell when I've taken a long lull and a break, especially like from my surfing, because then my first day back, I'm like, bro, this is rough.
Not only that, like you probably lose a bit of confidence too. You're like, oh, like it doesn't feel as natural. You're like, oh, but like and same with hair. Like whenever, the only time I've ever taken a break is when I've had babies, and I don't even take that much time off. Like I'm literally like, I don't go full force back into it, but like the longest I've taken off was like a couple months. And like even after a couple months, I'm like, I go in with like less certainty. Like I feel like my hands aren't working the same. But if you're doing hair, you don't have to like think about it. You're just like, no.
You know what? I feel like I have a false sense of confidence in a lot of things I do.
Hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. That gets you far in life.
Even though I'm like, I haven't been surfing in a couple weeks. I start up again. I'm like, I don't care. Nothing matters. I'm great at this. But you know what? I'll say it's interesting because once I pick up, I start picking up hard. Like I'll go 3-4 times a week, which by the way this is the most expensive hobby I've had in my life.
Why? It's the ocean. It's free.
Safing, ma'am. I have a coach.
You pay a coach. Yeah.
No, it's not free.
I got you because I have a coach when I was doing my fitness stuff, and it's like, it's expensive.
It's expensive. Well, and now I'm getting more like tools and things like that to like make me better. But even now, I feel like when I jump back into things, I jump in so wholeheartedly, which I'm going to talk about that too, that I'm like finding myself getting better, taking on bigger waves, like things like that. But it's so interesting. We're about to do a fact map training. And actually, one of the team members just said this to me. So Katie's the director of operations, and her and I were talking, and I was like, man, I feel like I did really bad at all of my quarterly goals. I'm like, I feel like I did terrible. I don't feel like I did any of them. Literally, I don't think I succeeded at anything except for surfing and work. Like, I think everything else fell to the wayside. And she said, you just have to, she goes, maybe don't make such big goals. I was like, dude,
realistic goals.
One of my goals was drinking enough water for the day, and I still did not hit that. I'm like,
it's because you don't care. Set goals that you actually care. Set goals that you actually care to hit.
I care because I don't want another kidney stone.
I feel like we set goals sometimes that like, that's a good idea. And we put it on like the goal list, and you're like, but are you going to do it? Do you actually care? Not really.
Do you know what it is though? I have to do it. I need to do it because I've had a kidney stone. Now I'm potentially more prone to have them again.
I will tell you, it's so hard when you don't care about a goal and you don't want to do it. But then when you start it, I literally drink at least 3 liters a day.
I'm supposed to be doing that. I drink 1.
I know.
1.5.
I know, but I will tell you this. The days, my body's gotten so used to it, and the days that I only drink like 1 liter, I actually wake up retaining more water and feeling more puffy. Isn't that weird?
No, I actually believe that.
And I honestly think too, I think that water is the most amazing cleanse for your system. Like, I feel like there's so much shit we put on our bodies, even people who think they eat healthy. Like, there's just shit that goes into our bodies. And I honestly, truly believe, as you're chugging water right now.
Now I feel called out and stressed.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, that was one of the things that was really hard for me. And I finally got to this place where I'm like, this is stupid. I need to stop telling myself it's hard and just do it. And I got in the habit of doing it. The problem was I told myself I didn't want to do it. And I told myself it was really hard. And then I told myself it is stupid that I'm telling myself that. And I started doing it.
And you know what's so funny? I have moments where I'm like, you're being such a dick. It's so
yourself?
Yes, drink water, you fucking asshole. This is to me,
Don't
not
be
anyone
that guy.
else. Like, yes, I'm being such a dick of not doing the simple things.
I'll tell you this though, because there's been times where I fall out of the habit, and I'm using water as an example, but there's times I fall out of the habit of drinking water, and what's worse is when you know better and you know how good you feel and you know it works, and then you like stop and you're like, but why did I stop? And when you stop, it's you're like starting over at square one. And that's why you don't want to restart, is because you know how hard it is to start. But you're like, but I know better. Why did I stop?
But you know what? I've just realized I'm someone that if I don't, how do I explain this? If I'm not 100% in, that's a lie. If I'm not 110% in and obsessed and in love, I do need an accountability buddy. And here's once again 2 examples. Surfing, I am obsessed. I'm in love. It is truly the best thing.
And you can go on your own because you love it.
Yeah, well, and it's the best thing I've ever done for my own like mental health, sanity, spirituality. Like, I love it. I've gone surfing where I almost canceled a few times. And I'm like, I'm in a bad fucking mood. And I'm like, no, you're going to put on your fucking wetsuit. You're going to go. And I swear to God, the minute my feet touch the ocean, I'm like, what problems? But that is easy for me to commit to because I'm in love with it. I love it. I have a coach.
And even when you're having a shitty day, you still know the outcome of doing it once you get in the water, so you force yourself to do it.
Fuck yeah. Or because I know, and especially I know if I don't go, I'm fucking pissed I didn't go because I'm going to wish that I'd gone.
And then you have to deal with the guilt all day. So you're like, even though I don't want to do it, I know I'm going to feel better when I do it.
Yeah. And then the other side that I'm generally always really good at is work because I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I've dedicated my life to this. I moved across the country for this. Like, I'm in it. So I've realized the thing with myself is the 2 things that I'm like obsessed with, I'm really fucking good at. But when there's anything less than that obsession for me, I'm like, where do I want my time to go?
Do you think these other areas bleed into how well you could have your surf game and your business life? Because I'm kind of like I get it. Like, it's so hard. Like, even in like Garrett's company in Warrior, they teach like have it all, and everybody's have it all is different and their balance is different. Like, I kind of hate the word balance because people think that your time has to be evenly placed in each box. To me, that's not really balance. I'm like, guess what? I fucking love working out. I love being a mom. I'm going to give this a lot of my time because I fucking love it. Does that mean I'm not going to like have these other areas of personal growth, religion, spirituality, like other things in my area? Yeah. Am I going to give them the same amount of time that I give these things that I'm obsessed with? No. And I think that's okay. Like, I think balance has like a off skew representation of what it actually means.
See, I think I can have balance when I'm obsessed with something. And I'll use today as a great example. So it's actually Monday that we're filming this right now, and I'm working for the next 12 days straight. I thought
you were saying 12 hours. I was like, no, go home and go to bed.
The next 12 days, I don't get a day off. I have 6 days I have my normal work week, then I have 6 days of training in a row, then another normal work week. I don't have another day off until July 3rd. FYI, it's fucking the 21st right now. So I knew that coming into this week, and I almost like prepped myself last week. I was like, okay, it's going to be rough. Saturday was a beach day. We hung out. Sunday, I went surfing. I spent the entire day with my boyfriend. This morning, I literally told the team, I will not be here on time. I might get here at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I go, I'm going surfing. I'm going to make time. I literally will have 0 minutes available for the next at least like 7 days. That's going to not like fuck me up a little, but I pre-planned.
Taking that time for yourself, that'll set you up for this like 12-hour work. You know what I mean? Like doing little things like that. Like
12 day, not 12 hours.
Sorry. And I'm the same way. Like when we have crazy back-to-back events and there's times where I'm like 5 minutes late to the event, but I'm like, you know what? I know to set myself up for success, I need an hour window or 45-minute window because my surfing is like my working out. I'm like, I need that window because I know I will feel complete. I'll feel balanced. I'll come in as a better trainer. Like, absolutely. I need that. And I'm like, and if that means I'm 5 minutes late, I don't care because I know I'll make up that 5 minutes based on like who I have become in that hour. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm the opposite of that. I cannot be late.
Yeah, you can't be late.
For me, it will mentally fuck me up for the next 6 hours.
See, and I look at it. You know why okay, not that I'm making excuses for my tardiness. No,
let's hear this. I'm excited. Give it to me.
Okay, so I feel like I've worked to this place in my career where I'm like, I'm going to take 5 minutes. Because I know you're like, you're such a dick for saying that, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, I feel like and I don't feel like I'm like, I wouldn't ever take that 5 minutes if I didn't 100% trust and know that like, you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're 5 minutes and I'm 5 minutes late.
I know you will never be 5 minutes
fuck
late.
No.
So I would never do that if I had somebody who was like me that's like, I might be 5 minutes late. I'm like, you're fired, number one. But I trust you, and so I feel like I've kind of earned that right in a way. Like
absolutely,
I remember, and again, it's not like I'm late just to like be an asshole because I stopped and got a Starbucks. Like I'm getting kids out the door, and sometimes like you can't plan for that shit. Like you're like there's meltdowns, but what my point is like I used to like when I was building up and I didn't have an assistant, I didn't have teams. I would get to work 30 minutes early, kind of similar to you.
I do that now.
And you never saw that side of me. Disciplined Danielle. She was another era.
Disciplined Danielle doesn't exist anymore.
Disciplined Danielle is why we got to where we are today, okay?
Disciplined Danielle, she dead.
She did. No, she's still very much alive. She prioritizes her discipline.
But you know what? I know you do, and I'm just teasing you. But being late, like, I can't do it. And I know part of it for me is it's a respect thing for me that I expect my students to be early. Like I do. If I say class starts at 9, don't you fucking dare walk in at 9 o'clock. Why? Because that's when we start. You still have to walk in, have a panic attack, sit down, stress out a little, geek out. Okay, cool. I need you ass and seat ready to go at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's if I'm expecting that out of them, never in a million years would I be late. But I'm also very, very strict on that. You know what I mean? So I think that's where it differs. Neither one being more right and or wrong than the other. But that's for me why when I'm like, I can't be late, I make it work. I don't care. Whatever I have to cut out.
You ease my stress though. That's the only point I was making. Like I know because you're such a time person. Like Nazi. Like I know you will like if you're 5 minutes if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late in your mind. You know what
15.
I mean? Yeah. But I get it. I know you never met Disciplined Danielle. She's great. She was 30 minutes early. She had her trays prepped. But
you know what? I know Disciplined Danielle exists because I've seen her with your fitness competitions. Yeah. I've seen Disciplined Danielle. But once again, it's a matter of like not what you care about most, but like what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I'm never late to I'm really never late anywhere, but for that, I always prep extra time. I'm always excited, and I will move around whatever I have to move around to get that surf session in. I don't care. But it just comes down to priorities.
But I really want to take it back to even talking about not taking your foot off the grass. The gas.
Don't step on concrete, y'all.
And not losing momentum. We just did a training too where we had everybody go out and do these model shoots. And one of the girls specifically, and I won't name her name, she actually has COVID and she was so you could tell her spirits were kind of down and she's I had to miss my photo shoot. And I get it. When you're sick, even if you planned you're oh, I'm going to get content done, you're not. You feel like shit. You're just not. And so you almost have to allow yourself some grace to just be hey, get through this. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed and then get back on track. Just tell and I told her that. I said, you know what? I am so sorry. It's important that you're healing good. I know that you're seeing all the other artists showcase their beautiful model things and you're feeling down. Yeah. I'm but don't lose momentum. You have a valid excuse to why you had to pause and don't feel overwhelmed and rushed now through getting these photos and getting this content creation. Just get back on track. And I think that sometimes when we lose momentum in life, we want to fast track things. We want to skip A, B, C, and D and go straight to F. Yes. And we're I'm just going to go straight to F. It's somebody who eats fucking shit all for 6 months and they're I'm going to do a 25-day fast. And you're sweet cheeks, you're going to make it to day 1 at noon. And then you're going to cave. Okay, so let's listen, sweet cheeks. Set realistic goals and stay consistent.
But you know what? Here's my thing. even if you can set a realistic goal, if you know that you are not 10,000% passionate, find an accountability buddy. So even now, there's another program called, it's called 75 Hard. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I don't see like an actual point to it. But what I do love is that every day they're posting on social media saying like, done, done, done. So we're actually going to be starting a similar challenge this week. No one knows it though. They'll find out during it. But we're going to be starting a similar challenge where I'm going to create something that every day they can post on their social media, mark the day off. It'll be a 90-day challenge. But the great thing is they get to choose their goals.
I was going to say, that's the problem with 75 Hard is, and I know you pick your own thing, but there's also,
not really.
You don't. Like there's like, you got to give up this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, abstinence isn't always the best. I think it ultimately can lead to people going the opposite direction. So I am not for that program. Garrett started it like 7 times and never made it.
I know. And because it's insane, but that's my thing that I know I need accountability. Like my being challenges, because that's my surfing. I have that nailed. When it comes to business, I know I hit my goals, but everything else wasn't bad. I don't feel like an utter failure. I don't feel like I succeeded.
Yeah.
And I also think it's important to understand that happens for literally everybody. Like we are very good at what we do, but it doesn't mean we're 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's just not realistic. So even if you find yourself where you're like, oh, I fell off the wagon, I'm garbage, I'm behind, I have to catch up. I hate that. Because the more you say, I have to catch up, you're only reiterating, I'm behind.
Yes. And you know what I hate too? I hate the feeling of guilt. I think that women suffer from this more than men, and they let it control and consume them. They're like, oh, I'm guilty, and then they spiral, and then they're like, oh. Like, honestly, I remember it was like years ago, and I was like, I remember like kind of like sitting there feeling like down and guilty, and I was like, you know what? I'm not guilty is just a reminder, like get your ass moving, but like don't wallow in guilt. Like just let it be a friendly reminder of like, I got to get shit going, and then move past that and pick back up and get back on track. But I find that like women, we literally like, we let like the guilt kind of spiral, right?
Oh, that almost happened to me yesterday on Sunday, actually, because I feel like I actually work 7 days a week. I feel like there's rarely a time where I like don't do some kind of work.
Yeah.
And even yesterday I was like, no, I'm not doing anything that's related with work today. Yeah. I'm not doing it. And for a minute I was like,
feel a little guilt.
Girl, for a minute I was like, girl, you're about to be MIA for 6 days straight with training. Like you should. And then I was like,
but you have to set yourself up to train better.
Yeah. But then I literally sat there and I was like, no, I am working the next 12 days. I am not going to be working today. I'm going in late tomorrow. I'm going to get my surfing in. I'm going to get my laundry done. I'm going to take a nap. And I did do that. It was delightful. I finished a whole book. It was an amazing day.
But then you're like ready to go.
I woke up today feeling amped and not resentful of the amount I'm about to work. And I think that's a dangerous point. If you overwork yourself, you end up being resentful of the thing that helps you.
And I'll give fitness as an example. I remember like I'd want to work out every day, and my trainer was like, Danielle, you have to take a day off. And I was like, again, I feel guilty. I just need to do something. She's like, then go for a walk. I don't want you doing any cardio. I don't want your body you will not grow. You will not get the results that you want if you don't take that day off. And to me, it was so mentally daunting, right? Like you feel this sense of guilt, but then when you do it, you have better results moving forward. So when you tell yourself that, you can quickly kind of navigate through the guilt and be like, this isn't serving me. This feeling is a reminder, but it's not going to sit and live with me in this moment right now.
So guys, we are coming to the end of the podcast today. Thank you so much for being with us. And for me, the 2 biggest things I want you to take away is, number 1, if you're not fully like in love with something, but you know it is something that's best for you, for example, like drinking water, find an accountability buddy. Find a buddy. I say that all the time in every class. Find an accountability buddy, and also never slow down. You can slow down. Never stop. Don't fully stop anything ever.
Yeah, I always tell people too, I'm like, listen, sometimes you're going to hit home runs and sometimes you're going to hit singles, and singles eventually get you home runs. So don't completely stop what you're doing. And I even tell people that are interested in joining the academy, I'm like, listen, I'm not telling you guys anything that you don't know. I said, but a lot of you are sitting in this room and you know the stuff you need to do, and a year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by, and you're fucking in the same space that you've always been. Guess what? You need an accountability buddy to keep that momentum, to keep that consistency. And if that's the biggest thing you do this year, do it. So
guys, thank you for being here with us. We do have one more event at the end of the year. It's going to be a virtual convention. Tickets do go on sale 4th of July. If you want to be the first to hear about it, we always send invitations to our email list first. So go to nbr.education. Be sure to put your email in there because this is the last chance you have to learn NBR in all of 2021.
I've had so many people who are like, I can't get into your education. I can't get into your education. So this is your last shot.
Guys, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.